Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Dazer. I'm here with my Dami Health Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Lane. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a few quick health and wellness stories to review today. The first one is something we've talked about before, and it's about being around nature and how that affects our health. This study looked at the differences in chronic health conditions for people who were around nature compared to people who were very seldom in nature, people who lived in major cities and that type of thing. And it found out that the places with better greenscapes, trees, parks, that type of thing, significant reduction in chronic health issues like hypertension, obesity, high cholesterol, diabetes. Does that surprise you at all?
No.
No, me either. I mean, we're talking 10 to 20% risk reduction for these chronic diseases just by living in a place that has trees. That's huge.
That is huge.
I mean, it's so important for your mental well-being, but we're just seeing these physical well-being things come up all the time. And I just think it's so important. I mean, it's most likely due to, clean air, with this getting outside more, the draw to actually be active.
Stress reduction.
I
still firmly believe with everything that I have that stress is a lot of the times the grounds in which disease can then manifest. I really do.
Oh, I agree. And for us specifically, we since October, which is about 6 months now, we have been in a position where we're a walk to the beach. And that draw to get to the beach is like every day we talk about it and we think about it and we just go. And it's...
Yeah, we go every single day.
We just go, and we can't really help it. I mean, it's a 10 to 15 minute walk, and it's just so worth it.
Yeah, we've always made an effort to go outside no matter where we've lived, but we lived in a real... in a place before that there was man-made nature, but there was no real access to natural nature unless we got in the car and went. We could only do that maybe 1 or 2 times a week. So, yeah, it's a real gift.
It is.
I would never... I don't like missing a day now.
No, for sure. And I think for me, my body craves that fresh air. Because that ocean air that comes, you just... you can feel the change once you reach that last block.
Oh, definitely.
But it's the same thing when you get in the woods. And
we love going to the woods just as much.
Well,
that's the other thing, we're spoiled.
Yeah, we are spoiled.
We go the other way, we're near a forest. It's amazing.
We talked about grounding a couple weeks ago. I don't even think you need to take your shoes off for this. When you get in the woods, you feel different. Your body feels more grounded in just the broadest sense of the term.
Yeah, I always think of when we go to the woods of breathing deep. And it's not even really a conscious thing. Maybe it was back in the day when I would consciously try to make myself do it, but now it's just such a natural thing. As soon as I get in the woods, I just... There's nothing better.
No, it's true. And that deep breathing is associated with stress reduction. And the body automatically wants to do it, which is really interesting. We've seen, one way of stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system for your rest and digest to actually reduce anxiety actively is to do deep breathing, to do belly breathing.
Yeah, and I remember when I consciously started to try to breathe deep and relax, say when I was in the woods, whatever, my life was so stressful at the time that it was very unnatural. I was very uncomfortable with our life. I was uncomfortable with where we lived. I was uncomfortable with the pressure around business. I was uncomfortable with you being in school. I was uncomfortable with, fear of student debt. Like, I was in fear and stress 24/7. So then living in that, and you're so tight and you breathe so shallow, and you can never, even if you're doing something fun, you don't fully let go because you have this giant worry. So I remember it was such an unnatural feeling to go into the woods and breathe deep Because you're telling yourself, oh, in this moment everything's okay, and then my ego would come up and be like, no, it's not. No, no, girl, you got issues. Like, there is so much going on. Like, what do you mean? Like, so it was very unnatural. So carving out those times to the woods and then training myself to breathe deep and relax no matter what was going on during that time, just letting everything go just for that time, there's amazing healing in that. And it helps you cope with all the other stuff better. Because, I mean, I was the type of person where I believed that if I let go of my stress a little bit, it would turn into worse.
Yeah, right. You slack or...
It would, yeah, and I wouldn't get ahead or I would forget.
Right.
You know, it would somehow become, like, I really thought I had to hang on to it. And, I mean, there was reward in that. I was making a lot of money that we needed, but I was killing myself. You know? So it's a real reworking. Like, being miserable isn't worth it. Isn't worth anything.
No, it's true.
But anyway, even if you could just, while you're in the woods, even if your life is really stressful and you have horrible, uncontrollable things that you can't shut off, if you start training yourself to shut it down just while you're there and just breathe into nature, it can change everything for you. It starts to bleed over into your life and you can handle your anxiety and your stress better, because it's not like all of a sudden all our stresses went away.
No. It's just that conscious break. It's so good for the body.
Yeah, exactly.
This study was out of University of Miami, and it was looking at 250,000 people. And they found, I mean, just really great numbers of 14% risk reduction for diabetes, 13% risk reduction for hypertension, and 10 for high cholesterol disorders. It's significant and it works, and I mean, this isn't even looking at anxiety disorders.
Yeah.
Right, I think when we talked about this a couple of months ago, or maybe it was last month, we were talking about anxiety. We were talking about stress and how beneficial it is to get into nature. But yeah, chronic diseases as well. I think it's really important. The next one we're going through today is about the United Kingdom and how they've just put a ban on 2 endocrine disrupting weed killers. So they're moving forward with blocking things that actually cause changes in our personal hormones. I mean, it's excellent. We need more governmental bodies to be doing things like this. This is the amitrol and isoproteron. They're herbicides that they've been linked to cancer, infertility, and birth defects. They were prohibited as of the 30th of September. Now, I don't know if these are ones we use here in North America, but I just think it's a bigger conversation. We're talking a lot about phthalates. We're talking a lot about other endocrine disruptors. We were talking about phthalates in food, in chicken, a couple weeks ago from the PETA article about how the plastic wrap on chicken is causing hormone disruption. And then another one came out last week about how there's phthalates in so much fast food. When you eat fast food, you're getting hormone disruptors. But now the UK is having these taken off the market. I think it's excellent. Thyroid cancer, infertility, reproductive problems, and fetal malformations have all been associated with these 2 weed killers, and they were on the market still. I mean, the environmental changes that need to be made, I hope it continues.
Me too.
Especially when it comes to hormone disruption, because I mean, we see so much hormone disruption in both of our practices. It's and a lot of times people feel lost. Like, why is this happening?
And a lot of people don't believe even when you tell them.
Oh my gosh, no! Because I went to the GP. This what you have here. This is called PMS, and this is normal, and everyone has it.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times I've heard that?
I know. Because on the spectrum of what's going on in the world, it is quote unquote normal.
Yeah, well, I guess it would be.
But right now, if you look at what's normal, obesity's normal. Depression's normal. Anxiety's normal. Normal isn't, just the mess we've all got ourselves into. Normal isn't what we should be aiming for. Optimal wellness is what we should be aiming. Like, the averages are horrible, and that's what they're going to give you when you go, because that is the average. But we know from facts that the averages were a hot mess. So we should all be aiming to be the healthier side of that, not average.
Well, it's just strange when all of a sudden the averages would be things that would increase your risk for certain chronic diseases. Like when the average BMI, or we're looking at obesity, and the average person is overweight,
right,
that's a risk factor for cardiovascular disease.
Right. So if you go to a doctor, they'd be like, well, it's normal, yes, because you're average.
Yeah.
Like, that's not good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and there's no time for lifestyle advice, that type of thing.
No, and I'm not shaming the GP. No. I'm trying to say you need to educate yourself on what those terms mean.
Definitely.
You have to be your own health advocate. End of story. We all do. We're all in charge. We go to these experts for obviously what's out of our realm of knowledge, but you have to be your own health advocate, and you have to understand what certain terms mean, what certain things mean. When people tell you that, you know, these extreme PMS things are normal, yep, they're normal. Doesn't mean it's as in it's average. That doesn't, it's, and we're in a mess. And so you should be pulling for the optimal health side of things.
Right. And the good news is it's not that, like, it's not that much work that needs to take place to start to make changes in terms of hormone regulation into an optimal state. I mean, there's a wide spectrum of hormone dysfunction, and now we're starting to find out what are the causes. I mean, there's so much food stuff that's come out recently, but now environmental things,
and with women, beauty products. My
gosh,
mean, you know, we're being attacked from all angles there. We're being told we're not attractive enough, we don't smell well enough, we have to do all these things, so we go buy those things, but then they're also altering our hormones, which are negatively affecting us. So it's affecting us financially, mentally, emotionally, and now actually physically. So, I mean, you have to be your own health advocate. You have to wake up to certain things, and you have to make changes.
Definitely. And most of the changes are nutritional. And most of the changes...
And environmental.
Environmental, nutritional, lifestyle, in your home, all of these things. Avoiding exposures, eating well so you have proper detoxification happening. Exercise, so you're breaking a sweat. You're breaking a sweat often to clear extra toxins, to stimulate the body to heal. So many great things you can do, and it's not like it's a big... You don't have to take medicine. You don't have to take pills. Yeah, so anyways, hormone disruptors, you know, being removed from the market continually, but you gotta watch out from your own home what's going on.
And use common sense. You know.
And what would you mean by that? Just with your own products and things?
Yeah, like, I mean, with what's going on in your shower, if it smells like perfume and it's color dyed and it's from the middle racks of your local drugstore, toss it. Toss it. It's crap. Get something all natural that's only scented with essential oils and that's pure. You know, start there. Same with your laundry detergents, like, you know, all the scented stuff. It's amazing how differently you feel when you just change those basic things.
Oh, is it ever? I mean, even the change from drinking white wine to red wine, or you're drinking really, really sweet wines.
I don't know.
I mean, I find that high sugar I'm trying to get at.
I think you mean cheap, because not all white wine is high sugar.
No, that's true.
Because it can be exactly equal. Regular, like Chardonnay is equal to red wine.
Yeah, that's
in
true.
The sugar content.
As well, yeah. I mean, alcohol in general is a hormone disruptor. I mean,
yeah.
Definitely. And the treatment that you have been promoting for such a long time in this case is making sure your water consumption is solid.
For me, I had to eliminate wine, but not everyone falls in that category.
No, it's so true.
So you have to figure out what's true for you and not ego true for you. Like, I did not want to give up wine.
Oh my gosh.
It was something that I really, really, really enjoy. Yeah. But for me, it was playing into the situation I had going on hormonally, so I had to let it go.
Yeah, and it was really effective for you.
It worked. That's and I tested it out. I didn't want to. I kicked and screamed, basically. And
it was the Gewürz.
Yeah, like, I like a sweeter wine. That's why you're relating that. But most people don't drink.
No, it's true.
I'm a fake wine drinker, basically.
I like a Gewürztraminer too, but it gives me a headache.
Yeah, because it's high in sugar. The ones I choose, anyway.
Yeah.
You can get dry ones, you know.
And I saw significant benefit in you, and I've seen it in multiple patients as well, with just avoiding too much alcohol consumption, and when you're dealing with hormonal problems.
And what I did move to, and what did work for me, was vodka, sparkling water, and just lemon or lime. And if I wanted some sweetness, just a little bit of stevia. And with that, I was drinking way less alcohol, way more water. It just works.
The same thing with coffee too. When you drink a ton of stimulants, then your stress hormones can be thrown off, which can then throw off your thyroid and subsequent female hormones as well. So, I mean, you're right. It's just being vigilant of your current lifestyle.
And being honest with yourself, and if you have, like with myself, I always knew kind of in the back of my mind, oh, coffee isn't right for me. Mm-hmm. Coffee isn't my thing. It kind of feeds into my anxiety. It plays into that profile of that person that, I don't necessarily want to be. Like, I think a lot of us, and I avoided for years quitting coffee. Because I'd find the good studies and, these people say it's great and it's great for your heart and it's great for your brain, and I would find all these reasons not to quit. But I feel like most of us have like a little thing inside of us that kind of says, like even if it starts as a twinge, like this isn't right, like this is something we should look at. If you actually go for it and then just give it long enough to see if it does make a difference in your life, but you have to do it long enough to see. Like wine, it took like 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. Coffee, it took a while.
Oh yeah, when we're talking about PMS specifically, or just general regulation of female hormones, it takes 2 cycles at least.
Yeah, and for me, it was like more like 3 to 6.
Right.
To really heal from everything that was going on, and I did everything: no coffee, no wine, no added sugar, mm-hmm. no dairy, no gluten, because I wanted to be better. It depends. Like it's like it depends how bad you want to feel good.
That's true.
It's
like anything, really.
Yeah, if your motivation is there, then you'll do whatever it takes. And then once you feel good, it's just, who cares what it took,
Well, yeah, I mean, you're really good at being in tune with what feels good and how to promote more of that and how to be strict but also, hold that motivation for a long period of time.
Well, I don't understand what the alternative is. Like a slow burn of hating your life, or like cystic acne on your back, or terrible PMS symptoms, or never getting to the body weight you want to be, or like, well, what's that? That's really worth eating cheese? Like, no, it's just common sense to me now. But I had to get out in front of myself and just make myself do it until that kicked in.
Definitely.
And then time makes you... and some of these things have addictive qualities.
Oh my gosh. Do they ever? Everything you're saying is addictive for me.
Yeah. So you have to give your body enough time to come off that addiction and realize that it's just like a scary ghost. It's not real. Mm-hmm. It has no control over you. You control everything that goes into your body. Yeah. You're in the driver's seat.
Well, at the end of the day, it's for you. It's always this evaluation of what's better: having this food or this drink or whatever, mm-hmm. or the pain and suffering of the symptoms.
Definitely. I mean,
making that choice.
It's become very clear for me because I enjoy feeling good so much, and I disdain making myself suffer. I find it embarrassing now. I did it for too many years. I wasted too much of my time. Suffering.
And a lot of people say that's one of the ways to lift anxiety and lift depression is when you wake up in the morning, you decide, what kind of day am I going to have?
Oh, definitely. And that's why I do my journaling. That's how I really got out of that funk.
It helps you make that choice, right?
Well, it puts you in the driver's seat instead of feeling like you're a victim of everything. Shifts, gives you power and focus and all that stuff. Good energy breeds into good energy,
Gosh, that's been like a theme of this show, is really making decisions that are supportive of your higher good.
Yeah. Yeah, because one of the things I see really prominently is, all of us are guilty on certain levels of feeling like victims. And that's what keeps us small, and that's what keeps us enclosed, and that's what keeps us in patterns. And so you have to own your power. It's the only way out.
True. I like it. I love it. That's Healthy Rebel Radio for today. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.
See you.
Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamieHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Lane has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamieHealth.com for more information.
Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamieHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at damihealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow.